Our family support team had noticed that because they work with a lot of women who are escaping or have escaped domestic violence, they really noticed the barriers that women faced with the system, and they were often feeling further traumatised by systems that they were using.
Women Speak formed through the coming together of Caloundra Zonta Club and some women with lived experience who we already had a relationship with through the family support program. So Holly and I put our heads together and we thought there's a really great opportunity here to explore bringing the women together and seeing just what might emerge over time. It was led by the women with lived experience and listening and sharing in, and over a period of time, around about 12 months, we got to a really clear shared understanding of just what the issues were and also who the group was, how we wanted to work with each other and with others in community and why we wanted to do that. So our groove became around prioritising the physical and emotional safety of people as they're navigating the system and, trying to influence change.
Leaving DV is actually the easy part. It is the aftermath, and afterwards we're trying to heal, we're trying to be a safe space, grounded, mentally and emotionally healthy space for our children. And then you've got a perpetrator who's just so determined to break that and break us. So that's where the support is needed the most.
I love this process, and for me this process started for 16 days of activism, which is the November 25th to December 10th, and that's why we got the orange, and that's kind of why I was keen to be part of Women Speak, was because of the 16 days and what the impact can happen in that 16 days. And after meeting with them for a few weeks, it was really started to set in that, wow, I have an opportunity to make a change here with just my story. So to be able to do that and then show up as well for ourselves and for everybody else has been huge, and just something I don't think I could have seen myself doing without Women Speak. I didn't feel like I needed to run and hide. I felt that I was okay to have that huge emotion and that, yes, I've opened this door, but it's okay because this support network that is here is going to help me be able to close that door, but in a healthier way. So yeah, I think it's been very hard, but showing up has been awesome.
We started out just playing games, theatre games, slowly sort of taking those into experiences of power being disempowered, feeling, injustice, how we respond to it, and slowly started creating images with our bodies and scenes of these scenarios, mostly from the first-hand experiences of the women in the group, but also from other women outside that group that we researched. And then we slowly fleshed them out and more, and then it all culminated in 3 days last week where we put a 40-minute play together. Then a week ago we had our first performance, and today we had our final one.
And I think there's a bit more going on up there than we know about, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So just make sure you don't say anything, okay? I know you get a bit fired up, but I don't want to have to go back to the station and bring up anything in relation to DV or something like that.
Okay, so you reckon it's not going to come back on me?
No, don't worry about that, mate. No. Good. If you need to sort it out, you do it when we're out here, okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll sort her out.
At the beginning, some women are a little shy. Some women don't want to speak much. But the converse is also true, because in any group you get sort of natural leaders, people who will step forward and speak. But what I found over the 2 months is that the women who were quiet, who weren't so sure about voicing their opinions, telling their stories, wanted to more and more. And shall I say, the people who were more like the first to jump forward or volunteer or speak up first, they began to listen and make space for the others. So, and I experienced a lot with this work, a kind of a democratization of the group as more and more authentic voices emerge over the process.
Hi, my name's Tilly. I hope you're now awake.
Oh, hello. Yes, I needed to book an appointment with Dr. So-and-so. I need to get a full psychiatric evaluation, but within the next couple of months.
Yes, well, the full cost of the evaluation will be $1,400. You'll get $17 back for Medicare and we do need your referrals.
Okay, yes, I've booked an appointment with a GP. I'll have the referral by the time I get to Dr. So-and-so.
I'm sorry, but we'll need your referral before you can make the appointment. Beep.
Hello?
Beep.
Hello?
Beep.
My favourite quote is art should comfort the disturbed, but disturb the comfortable. And I find this whole process was exactly that. Rob and Leah just created the most safe, comfortable environment for us to explore such heavy topics. You know, the women in this group were so resilient and brave and strong, and we just had this, you know, shared never give up attitude. And I think, you know, every week we showed up, often not for ourselves, but for each other. I feel so blessed and grateful to be part of something that is so unique and so special.
Don't think about this too much because obviously...
I just really need you to come and have your dinner. Come on.
Do not let her touch you. Get her back. Fight your mother. Stop! Hey kid, your mum is abusing you. You need to call child safety.
Being Tilly was, really intense because every time I stood on stage, I carried the weight of the experiences that so many others have had. I really hope that every scene, every word, every action really conveyed all those emotions and feelings of the torment that women and children experience every day. I also really hope that it deepened the empathy for those whose voices are never heard. At the same time, being Tilly was really empowering to give those feelings a voice and really to connect with the audience as they witnessed Tilly's story.
I guess I was a little bit apprehensive. I didn't really know how we were going to portray such a really important topic. Rob and Leah have done an absolute amazing job to bring such content into this performance. It's been an amazing journey. I've met the most wonderful, brave, resilient, tenacious women, and I have really connected with a lot of them, and I really think that this is just the beginning. I'm on my way. I'll get it all done. I'm done. A lot of it does resonate with us. A lot of these stories do overlap into our lives. When you're in a DV relationship or any relationship that is abusive, you are bumped around from organisation to organisation, and it's definitely can be quite overwhelming.
Yes, who says what a load of rubbish?
I've got still lots of ongoing sort of issues and fires burning and court processes and so on. And I've been homeless due to DV. So I was a bit unsure of it until we started acting some scenarios out. And the day we started working on the script, that's when I thought, okay, I can see how this can potentially be something. But there was still lots of doubt. We obviously not actors, but it has become actually quite good. And the first performance was the easiest, strangely enough. One of my roles is a very boganish, toxic cop that is based on a real cop at a domestic violence call-out. And then I've got a role of a judge that the words are based on a real judge or magistrates that just didn't appear to be very caring in a matter that could have gone differently.
I find for respondent.
To see these three performances all come together after all the planning and behind the scenes, it kind of in a way feels surreal, very emotional. have a lot of admiration and respect for the performers who showed up consistently and who still behind the scenes were dealing with the issues that we're bringing forward. It's brought a very different view for people that work in the service sector, even the general public. And I think it's brought this level of awareness forward for people that were so completely unaware of how flawed the system actually is and how more traumatic it becomes for women post-EV and their families and children.
You're not going to get anywhere if you just try and solve it all yourself. And that's the point, is that these systemic problems need a communal response. So there was this beautiful thing of people reaching out to other people in the community to try and help. And that's both in a story sense, but also in the actual forum itself. That's exactly what's happening. You've got members of the community standing up and reaching out to other members of the community. I mean, that's one of the things about forum theatre, right? You show something that doesn't end well and then you say to the audience, hey, we don't like this, can you change it please? Can you try something that might give us a different result? And all three audiences were different. There were some similar interventions, some similar suggestions, but no identical ones. But because it was a different person in the role of Tilly each time, the dynamic and the exact way that relationship played out is different.
I'm just wondering why there's such a big fuss on my daughter's front lawn.
Oh, she's the one who called the police, ma'am.
Yes, and
She
I
wanted
understand.
this fuss here.
And I believe that she needs a little bit of assistance from the police.
Oh, by the looks of things, it looks like this man needs assistance. She's acting a fool over there.
Excuse me, officer, this man has been causing problems to our family for a very long time.
I can't
He's
see
been
any of
hurting my
that
grandchildren, he's been hurting my daughter.
Raise your voice.
I need you to please take him away.
That kind of underlines this idea that what works for one person might not work for another person. And you have to actually try it out in real time to know.
Can you call the police, please? Because last time I called the police, one of his mates turned up because they go to the same football club.
Right, okay. So I'm going to hang up, I'm going to phone police and I will call you back, Tilly, and keep you on the phone, make sure they're safe.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you. Thank you.
I thought that the performance was really good, and I think that it could help a lot of women out there that are going through domestic violence and assault. I understand what it's like to go through that.
I don't think that we should stop. I think this is just the beginning. And I definitely want to stay in contact with all these women because I believe they're beautiful and they have so many stories to share, and I've learnt so much from them already.
We want to support each other. We want our community to be safe. That's probably the one thing. We want our families to be safe. We want children to be able to live on the Sunshine Coast free of fear. We want to make sure we can do everything we possibly can as a council to ensure that our community is safe.
I hope for this project is that we can use the project to advocate for changes in the system so that women can be fully supported to recover after domestic violence.
I think anything like this that is creating change, even if it's one small change, it helps all of us heal.
Because there's so much healing and validation, people knowing that they're not alone and they're not crazy like they were made out to believe. It was truly a privilege to tell a story that matters so deeply. You are not alone. Your story matters. Never lose hope.